back on a beautiful evening in Oslo. We are ready for the men's 5,000 meters at these mobile Bislett Games, and this should be a good one. The world record, 12:56.96 coming into this year. There is a pending mark of 12:55.30 by Moses Kiptanui, whom we saw earlier winning the men's steeplechase. The world leading mark is that one by Kiptanui. The American record, 13:01.15 by Sidney Marie of the United States.
There you're looking at a man who last year here at this event set a world record for 10,000 meters. That's William Segay. And number 251 we just passed by, American Todd Williams. And number 116 is a man to remember. This is a man for the future, Daniel Komen. And last year won the World Junior Championships at 5 and 10,000 meters. Just a 20-year-old young man, and ran the second fastest time ever in history for 5,000 meters earlier this year in the race against Moses Kiptanui when Tanui set the world record. There you see in the left-hand grouping right there, the man third going from left to right. Number 2, I believe, is 233, and that is American Bob Kennedy. Komen on the outside, the Kenyan in the far distance that I just spoke about, has been sick lately with a cold. We'll see what he can do. They are asking a pace of 62 seconds a lap, so they're going to go by the 1,600 meters in about 4:08 on their way to a 3.1-mile race. This stuff is unbelievably fast. I can't get over it.
As you just saw, the Norwegians choose to put up Kiptanui's mark of 12:55.30 as the world record, but it is still a pending mark, although such marks are rarely turned down. Bob Kennedy of the United States in this race 1 year ago set the second fastest time ever by an American at 13 minutes 2 seconds and change, so we'll be watching him closely as well.
Bob has run well here. He ran a 7:37 3,000 meters just a few days ago. He bases himself out of London and stays right out there and trains with the Kenyans and doesn't cross the Atlantic for every race, of course. There you see the bearded man in the back, a little taller than most.
Number 291 leading is Paul Donovan, who is the pace setter in the early going. Donovan from Ireland has a best of 13 minutes 23 seconds. The man running second, number 215, is Ruben Reyna of the United States. He is set to take over the pacing chores when Donovan steps off. Behind the Rabbits, serious contenders jockeying for position.
Irishman Paul Donovan is a paid rabbit. These men make some serious money to try and hit these targets for these athletes. But what's got to happen is if they hit their targets, the rest of the field has to stay with them. And you notice a gulf opening up here as the pace is slowing for the body of runners.
We'll be back with the finish of the men's 5,000 meters from Oslo, Norway in just a moment. Back at Bislett Stadium in Oslo, Norway, coming down to 2 laps to go in the men's 5,000 meters. There you see the front runners. Number 116 is number 118 is Josephat Machuka of Kenya. Number 116 is the 19-year-old Daniel Komen of Kenya. Also running in that group, Shem Karoria, number 268, and William Segay.
Segay set the world record for 10,000 meters here. He has not run quite that well during the outdoor season at all. This is a bit of a breakthrough if he can hold with the rest of these runners right now, as we have about a lap and a half to go.
At the back of the group, you see Bob Kennedy of the United States closing up just that little bit. He had faded remarkably, but he's put on a tremendous rush in this 800 meters.
Bob, what happened is Kennedy tries to run even paces during a race like this, and they surged. The Kenyans did and ran a 61-second 400 meters with a mile left to go in this race, and then they slowed down a bit, and Kennedy has closed the gap. He ran 13:02 here for the second fastest time of all time last year. That's American all time, of course, and he likes this track and loves this crowd. I might add here that if you're joining us late, that the Rabbits in this race did their job. Paul Donovan took the pace out. Ruben Reyna went by in 4:09 plus for the mile, and the pace here is superb with 1 lap to go.
And now the young teenager from Kenya takes the lead once again. Daniel Komen, who has already run 12:56.15 this year. And now it is an all-out sprint. Number 122, William Segay, who a year ago set a world record for 10,000 meters in this meet. Now running the 5. Just behind him, Shem Karoria of Kenya in the white singlet and shorts.
Back in 5th place, about 15 or 20 yards off the lead, is American Bob Kennedy. 100 meters to go down the home stretch, and look at the final kick.
Komen and Segay, and here comes Kororia down the outside. A sprint for the finish as Kororia takes the lead. Unofficially, 13:05, a tremendous race.
Unofficially, 13:08 plus, maybe 13:09 for Bob Kennedy. Kororia, another one of the young Kenyans out. You just don't know. Kim McDonald brings over 40 to 45, including 5 of them being women. They train in London, and they just seem to bring 8 or 10 new ones every year that just startle the world with great performances. He had the kick left, and he must have had confidence the way he sat back behind Segay and just let them do the work up